Hi everyone, my name's Chelsea, aka Sunspren. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Again, there was a piece on Nerdist that came, that was posted on June 28th, and it's actually pretty good. It goes over the four, pillars of the story that Amazon is trying to tell and discusses a little bit, in more detail about what's going on. Basically, here's what's happening. Amazon has three or four ideas for this show as a whole that they want to, big plot points they want to include. One, Elrond. Don't ask me why Elrond's such a big deal. I love Elrond and I love his backstory being half-elven and his parentage, and it's fascinating. But this Elrond, right here in the middle, looking like a vulture, is a little concerning. He doesn't have much to do until the founding of Imladris, which should come after a lot of the Gil-Galad stuff. But anyway, they're focusing on Elrond for part of it. The next part is Sauron and Galadriel's hunt for him. I don't want to say that without providing some kind of textual evidence. So let me come down. I'm going to scroll here. We're not even going to get into Celebrimbor yet. We're going to skip this for a second. The ascent of Sauron and Galadriel, right? Galadriel's search for him takes her, and eventually the strange human she encountered, Halbrand, all over the map. From everything we've heard, it sounds like Galadriel has Sauron's number, and with good reason. The showrunners add about Galadriel: she's full of piss and vinegar. And she's got a sword that's broken because she's killed so many orcs. Nothing to worry about there, people. Fans, it's gonna be great. Galadriel's full of piss and vinegar. Now there's an unfinished tale I hadn't read yet, but I made a whole other video about how angry I am about Galadriel warrior princess, so I'll just skip that and we'll continue. Obviously they're doing the story of the Rings of Power, Celebrimbor, Sauron, right? And then the last thing they mentioned was the Last Alliance. Oh, sorry, the Rise and Fall of Numenor and the Last Alliance of Men and Elves. So we've seen almost nothing of Numenor yet, except one photo of a guy who I guess they're gonna call Al-Farazon. I have no idea. There was one particular photo early on, but they haven't had any footage or anything about that since. So they must be shoving that further back in the series, if I had to guess. That's another thing this article cites and mentions, is that the first season will focus on the heroes. We'll focus on like pivotal characters, where they're at, what they're doing, what their goals are early on for the first season. Then the second season will get into a lot of the stories we really want to see these characters in. So basically they're going to build the characters in the first season and then do the big stories in the second. Fair enough, I guess. The Last Alliance. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's self-explanatory, but we've sort of already seen the end results of the Last Alliance. I guess the formation of the Last Alliance will be pretty interesting. Fair enough. There's one thing about when they're talking about Celebrimbor, I'm ignoring the Morfydd Clark Galadriel stuff right now. It'll just send me into a rage. We don't want to go there. Let's get back to Celebrimbor. Okay. In our story, Celebrimbor encourages and assists Elrond to visit Khazad-dûm to court the dwarves, says actor Charles Edwards. Okay. I think Edwards had some things to say about Celebrimbor up here. Yeah. The actor who plays him says, he's cautious. He can be quite gullible. He's vain, a brilliant craftsman. He's very meticulous. He can be a bit of a user, but he can also be used. He's proud, prefers seclusion. He's not a people person. He's not terribly socially interested. He can be quite blunt. He's very ambitious, colossally ambitious, end quote. I don't have a problem with this depiction of Celebrimbor because Tolkien had 2 or 3 ideas for Celebrimbor, right? Like they never quite settled on what he wanted, the full picture of what this character's personality was like. In one version, he loved Galadriel from afar. I think he made her some jewels, a jewel. Might have been the Elfstone, Elisar, or the Elfstone. I can't remember. Anyway, so I don't have a huge problem with this. What worries me, though, is this sounds a lot like Feanor, right? Except for the whole not a people person. Feanor was like, everyone should worship me because I am awesome and I made the Silmarils. But that sounds a lot like Feanor. And Celebrimbor was not, he's of the line of Feanor, but he's not, like the rest of them. It's pretty well, that is specifically addressed by Tolkien, that Feanor's grandsons aren't as bound by the legacy of Feanor as the sons were. And Celebrimbor himself really isn't quite like that. He sort of goes a different direction. But this whole colossally ambitious bit makes me think that they're going to have him, I'm going to outdo Granddad and try to like really make something better than the Silmarils. And Sauron, Anatar is going to come along and say, I can help you do that. Yeah, sure. I know some secrets. You want to know some secrets? I'm not sure how I feel about that, and I probably won't know until I watch it. If it's subtly done, then yes, I can understand that. What craftsman who is worth his mettle doesn't love what he's doing, doesn't want to know more, doesn't want more, better craftsmanship, skills? Who's gonna be like, nah, I don't want to know. I don't know how to make better things. Go away. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, maybe there's another Nerdist article. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're back in the game. This is Gil-Galad looking worried. The costume, I love the gold on him. But it does look kind of cheap. I don't think that's the intention, but it, this part across looks very costumey, like Halloween costumey. But the cloak is beautiful, and the actual gown, lovely gold material. This looks good. He looks pretty badass there. And of course, anybody looking at that kind of weapon, right, holding that kind of weapon is gonna look badass. That's more of what I expect from elves. Look at the detail, right? You can see these the details on the shoulders, the beading here that comes down. That's beautiful. That looks some quality elven stuff right there. It does have a touch of the Roman about it, or maybe the Greek, Roman, odd. But I like the gold, and if I just had to say, it looks like they're taking Gil-Galad seriously. Thank you, Amazon, if you're actually taking him seriously. Something, I'm not going to ramble too much longer, but so far, this 4-pillar thing, you got Numenor, you got the Last Alliance, Sauron and Galadriel, Celebrimbor, Rings of Power, Elrond, right? Sounds like they're trying to get on some kind of a track with Tolkien. But things that are massively departing from that, Galadriel, clearly that's just weird. That's Witcher territory. The Witcher. I love The Witcher, but it is what it is. Galadriel should not be Ciri. The stuff we've seen prior to this with Amazon's original characters, Bronwyn and Eredin, or whoever the hell that guy's name is that's supposed to be falling in love with Bronwyn, it's just discount Beren and Luthien. And I hope they're not making Celebrimbor discount Feanor, right? We can't do the first age, so let's just have everybody, all the cool stories in the second age, and we'll have stand-ins for the ones we can't do. That'd be so cheap. But that's what I'm worried about now, is that maybe that is the point. Maybe they're going to try to just shove all of it in here, whether it belongs or not. And a lot of it's going to feel that way anyway because of the compressed timeline that they're going to have to use to make this happen. Like just having Alfarazon story, the fall of Numenor with all of this going on at the same time. Like, are we going to have Elrond building in Ladris at the same time as some of these other events? I don't know. My grasp on the timeline is probably not that great anyway, so maybe they can do it pretty easily. It just seems odd. Very odd. All right, well, that's all I have to say for today. Kind of a strange rant this time. Yeah, hopefully it's not discount first stage. We'll see you later. Talk to you all next time. Bye. Thanks for listening. Sometimes my rants are strange. They take strange turns.